So I have two cheeky questions, if you don't mind. One is, do you sometimes think you take yourself a bit too seriously?
David, I am trying to take myself more seriously. If you want the proper answer to a cheeky question was best expressed by the fact that I gave a series of these talks after I wrote my first book. I went around America by myself, just giving brief talks in bookshops. And when I started doing that, somebody from one of these bookshops got in touch and said, "We can't really do this talk because you don't exist." And I said, "Well, what do you mean I don't exist?" And they've said, "Well, we've looked on Wikipedia and you don't exist." And I took that in a strange way as a backhanded compliment, because I think the role of a producer is to be a midwife to the music. It's not your role, it's not your music, you are the midwife. And when a child is born, we don't go, "Oh, well, who was the midwife? I want to remember that person." So, in a way, the fact that you're invisible and you've served the music and no one noticed that it was you isn't really strangely a backhanded compliment. However, as I now am putting out my own works into the world, I've decided, well, actually, I do need to exist, so I'm going to take myself more seriously.
That's a really good answer.
One of the practical difficulties I've had for much of my life in public is that I've had to censor myself. The last serious interviews I gave was in Japan in 2003. And the young Japanese lady who was responsible for press and organizing interviews said to me, "I've been told you're the Yoda of progressive rock." And after that, I stopped doing interviews. The last interview I gave, I believe in 2003, 3 days in a row, 8 interviews a day, and then I was asked, would you do another 3 or 4 on the I believe it was Saturday morning. And the very last question, the very first question of the last interview, it was a professor of philosophy from a Japanese university. And he said to me, "Where does music come from?" And my reply was, "Tell me where you were before you were born, and I will tell you where music comes from." Now, if I am asked a serious question, I could say, "Have you seen me in a tutu, dude?" Which is one way of kicking a received opinion. Now, how can I, in a normal sense, say, "Yes, I have seen where music comes from"? David said to me earlier this afternoon, "What's on your mind?" And I said, well, what's on my mind today is the point we ask. So we're in today, in this moment. And I said, I am here to bear witness that hope is a reality. And behind hope, there is a reality even greater than this. Is that too serious? I mean, the question for you, is that too serious?
No.
Well, the answer then, sir, is no, I don't take myself too seriously. This is my life. And if I fail to engage in this level, I am being fundamentally dishonest. So my difficulty in practical terms is, on occasion, I have had to censor myself. What is your second cheeky question, sir?